little something like
Hello, literates. I'm brittwriterly, and welcome back to Writer's Ambition. For those of you who've been hanging in since episode 1, you're a real one. And for those of you who are just finding my humble channel, welcome. We hope you stay a while. So this is the September HonesTEA. I know I'm skating on the end of the month again, but at this point, we just gonna have to expect that from me, right? At least for the next, until I graduate. This is my last year in grad school. It is all that last years tend to be, and so I'm just trying to keep up with the channel and bring y'all consistent content. But as far as when in the month that consistent content falls, couldn't tell you. I know what I aim for, but I give myself absolute grace if I miss it. And I know that y'all do too, so thank you. Okay, so September HonesTEA. I didn't feel badly about the August HonesTEA. Right, and we spoke about like giving grace to self, and I have given grace to self. My forehead's shiny, y'all see this? Moisturized. Anyway, I was like, okay, let's give grace to self, and I did. And this month I feel good. I feel really good, and it's interesting in this season. I feel, let me back up. God is powerful. We sang, what is the name of the song? It's funny how people in different congregations or different regions will have the same song under a different title. I know the song is God is alive, or He is alive, I think. Anyway, the verse of the song is, there is a God, He is alive, in Him we live and we survive. That song is so powerful because, that's like the foundation of Christianity. We serve a God who is alive. Well, the foundation of Christianity obviously is Christ, but with the triune God, regardless. God is so, I love that God is alive. I love that God is so intentional with me, because it makes me understand when I so easily forget that God is in the cosmos. He created the universe. He's holding this whole thing together in spite of all this going on, and He still has time to think about little old me. And I just feel, at the same time as I feel my own smallness, well, usually I feel small at that time when I'm like, wow, the omnipotent, omniscient God of the universe is holding this whole thing together, does more than just the minimum, which would be enough of waking me up. He is also bringing me to a good place. That is so powerful, because there's a lot going on right now. I am finishing my last year at grad school. I'm on the job market. I'm writing books. I'm preparing to do the whole indie thing. And it's I'm active in church as I ever have been, creating actually a new course for my teens. So it's there's a lot going on, a lot of things going on that I have never done before. And even though I realize that it's a lot, I also feel extremely blessed, because I realized that a year ago, 2 years ago, I would be drowning in all of this. I would be like, I can't do it. I would be like, I feel a panic attack coming on. I would be like, I feel a breakdown coming on. I would be like, I feel a depressive episode coming on. I feel it all. It's about to take me out, take me under. I don't. I feel peace. I don't know how I'm going to get all these things done, sincerely. But I'm like, God brought me to it, so He's going to bring me through it. I couldn't tell you how I'm going to get these things done. I couldn't even tell you how I'm going to get done the goals that I have on my list. But I do have faith that they will get done. And that is a peace that I feel like God has been building up brick by brick over the past 6 years. So I'm really, really grateful that even though I feel not overwhelmed, even though I feel the bigness, the allotness of my schedule, I also am just but I don't feel overwhelmed. And that is an overwhelming blessing. So that's the first thing. And that sort of is framing how I feel in the month of September. It's framing how I'm making my goals. So that's the foundation of this HonesTEA, is that there's a lot going on. There's even more coming. but I am at peace with it. And that is 100% because I trust God with what he is bringing me to. This is part of the purpose he has for me, and we're arriving at it, which I choose to receive with excitement rather than pure trepidation and anxiety. So that's that. Okay, not October. Yikes. We're almost there though. August. Let's review what I had on tap for August. Am I drinking tea? Sort of. I'm drinking a strawberry acai refresher in my really cute bottle. There's water in it. It's like caffeinated. It's acai, obviously. It's made from green coffee beans. It's like, I call it my gentle caffeination. I'm probably only gonna sip it because it's 6:15 and this stuff really do be hitting me a few hours later and I'll be up in bed and I don't want that for myself. I do need to get through the next 2 hours with some efficiency and competency. So you might see me take one sip to myself, but not a lot. So don't be alarmed. Usually I'm like, I'm trying to drink water. And this time I'm not. So that's why. Okay. August goals. My goals were to get to the midpoint of hashtag third fantasy, to start revising the first 50% of hashtag third fantasy, and to finalize my market materials. Did I do that? Yeah, I am at the midpoint of hashtag third fantasy. I'm so excited about it. Did I start revising the first 50? No, more on that later. I decided not to do that. I'll tell you why in a minute. Did I finalize my market materials? Yes, the main one. So a couple of, I think either last August, no, July. In my July video, I sort of went through and told y'all what all the market materials for the academic job market are. Do I have those 6 done? Yes. Depending on the job, sometimes they ask for different things. They may ask for a dissertation abstract. Really, that's the only other thing they may ask for. Do I have that done? Nah, I'm working on it. If there was an application asked for it, and I'm like, the one thing. But I am experiencing a lot of efficiency, just like grabbing those job market materials and tweaking them for different schools, but otherwise being like, wow, I'm so glad that I put the work in over the summer to have those ready. Because when I tell you September is busy, I am teaching 3 classes this week. I am taking great joy in not being a full-time teacher this semester, but this last year, I decided not to, but I'm teaching 3 times, 2 sessions of one class and then 1 session of a teaching certificate course on reflective teaching practice. And whoo, I'm not ready. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not ready. That's what tomorrow is gonna be. It's like prepping for those classes. It is huge that my job market materials are done. It's making all of the difference. So that goal is met, and it was met just in time. Hallelujah. So those are my you did that. Wow. Love that for me. Okay, moving forward. Those are my you did that. Oh, there's one more which will lead me into, this goes a lot into purpose. So here's the thing. Y'all know I love Alexandra House. Y'all know I have a love, I won't say hate, but a love relationship with Theodora Taylor in the way that she represents Black men and also does not represent them. Does not represent them usually, represents them in negative ways when they are there. So yeah, y'all know I love Theodora. Y'all know I love Alexandra House straight up and down. Wow, blessing her ministry. But y'all also know that I love the Lord. And I am in a season right now where I just feel like God is calling me to a higher level of purity, to higher standards of guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of man. I'm really feeling that. And I love Alexandra House's storytelling. I love it. But I think I was listening to, it was 30 Minutes with the Perrys, I think, Preston Perry and Jackie Hill Perry. I love their podcast. And they were talking about pornography. And they were talking about how it's a silent epidemic. Even people in the world are no, porn is ruining lives. And also is contributing to sex trafficking, but we don't really get into that a lot. We should though. And so they were talking about that, and they were yeah, men get into it, how men get into it, da da da. But then near the end, she was like, women engage porn too, not as much as men through like porn sites, more through books like 50 Shades of Grey. And when she said that, I was like, oh no, I'm caught. Like, I really was like, I'm caught. And let me tell you when I knew that I really needed to address this. Because I was like, oh, yikes, I'm caught. And also, I was very resistant when she said it. I was like, it was all of that it was the finger waving, it was the neck, it was the speechlessness, it was, I'm trying to get my case together. And it was like, the fact that you're so defensive of it, the fact that you refuse to think that you might need to let this go so that you can be closer to God, the fact that you're so resistant to it means you might have some idolatry going on in your heart. We should investigate that. And so when I settled down and was like, do I really need to cut out romance that has explicit sex scenes, even if it's not under erotica? For me, I was like, yeah, we need to do that, because you were too resistant to doing it. So we need to cut this at the root before it becomes some serious idolatry. And the bottom line is, these are not representations of sex that God is calling you to. So you do not need to be ingesting them super regularly, like, because that will change the way you'll be of two minds about sex. Like, oh, I know what God says, but there should be no but. That's what God is calling me to. I submit my life, my body to God. So that's what I need to be surrounding myself with, not with how the world views sex. No matter that I like the story, no matter that I appreciate the storyteller. And so that was really hard for me to come to. But do I love him? Right? And so I took a step back from reading a lot of romance, because a lot of the romance that I know of and that I had seen about has explicit sex scenes. I don't see a lot of romance that has fade out scenes. Maybe I'm just not in the right spaces, especially if I'm looking for Black romance, which y'all know I am. But I wasn't seeing it, and I fasted from it, essentially, I guess. And so that got me, right? Because I had this conversation with y'all about like deciding to do indie, and one of my reasons for doing indie was like, I want to be able to engage God more explicitly in my work. I don't see a lot of that in trad pub that's not directly under Christian publishers. So I'm gonna just do indie, and I can engage God how I want to. Because writing is a ministry, and Cache and I have talked about this in writerly conversations, particularly I think the one maybe when formula backfires, maybe, whatever. The point is, this is part of writing being a ministry. If it's for the glory of God, then that's what it needs to be. Either it is or it isn't. And so when I was like, wow, I really feel like I can read the romance genre, which I love. It's a nice reset. It's fluffy. I love the banter. I love romance. And so not feeling like I couldn't engage it without failing to guard my heart, I was like, so we need to look at how I can move in this area. Because I have read some Christian romance. Jane by Michelle Honora, I love that book. But other than that, I haven't really found a lot of Christian romance that doesn't seem really preachy and really like, it's corny. And so I'm a fantasy writer. I decided to write a Christian romance duology, to tap my foot in there. Because I think that we need more and higher quality Christian romance that Christians can read and not feel like they're putting their heart at risk. And so I am working on a Christian romance novella. We're just going to call it #FirstRomance. And I outlined it, and I am almost done with Act 1, and I'm really excited about it. So those are my You Did That's. I had to give y'all a lot more background before I told y'all about the #FirstRomance, but that's why. That's how I came to going from like, I don't want to write romance, me being like, maybe I should. Maybe this is part of ministry that I can serve. And so I'm really excited about that. So let's get into goals, because I don't feel as anxious as I would have felt in previous iterations of myself about all the stuff that I have going on, but that doesn't mean I don't see the craziness on my calendar. And some of these things have to be done by like May when I graduate, and some of these things need to be done by December so that I can advance toward graduation. And so I'm like, okay, how to balance? Because do I feel the call to extend my ministry in this direction? Yes, I do. How can I do that right now? So for my hashtag goals, these are my goals for the rest of the year. They're not month to month. The goal is to finish them by the end of the year so that I can be set to release my first book in indie publishing either by the end of 2023 it will be, or the beginning of 2024, like the very beginning of 2024. In order to do that, we gotta step lightly, and by step lightly I don't mean like tiptoe. I mean step lightly as in like we gotta move with some intentionality. And so here are my goals for the rest of the year. I want to finish this first draft of hashtag third fantasy. I want to finish this first draft of hashtag first romance. I want to nail down a fantasy genealogy, because I think I talked about this when I talked about like, a reason why I want to do indie, because all my stories are connected. Every person in my story, every person in any story that I write except for a few standalones, either is related distantly or has like crossed paths with each other, even if they're not related. And so in trad pub you can't necessarily do that unless all your books are through the same publisher. It was really important for me to be able to do that, so that's just another reason for me to do indie. What that means though, for all my characters to be so like genealogically interconnected, I gotta know this family genealogy as I'm writing, and so I really need to nail that down before the end of the year. And then the final thing is I want to clarify the magic system of Tales of Eliza Black. I am almost done with that. I have a first draft. Cache has seen it. It's definitely the project of mine that's like the closest to being done and publishable, and I'm really excited about that. A couple things to nail down. So it's crazy and surreal that I'm in like the final stages. I've been working on Tales of Eliza Black since I started my channel, and we're going into the third year of that, which is crazy. And so to be like, yeah, I'm in the last stages. Like, I'm not doing any more like drafts. Now this is just like spot revision. It's so exciting. It's so surreal. And so I want to start 2023, Lord willing, with doing that, with finishing the last patch of Tales of Eliza Black, sending it to betas officially. In order to be able to start the year with Tales of Eliza Black so that I could hopefully like publish her end of the year, beginning of 2024, again, Lord willing, I really need to like clear my calendar, clear all these other projects, because when I go to Tales of Eliza Black, we're going straight to like trying to get ready for like publishing and all of that. I don't know when I'll be able to come back to hashtag third fantasy. And so that's why part of me is like, I just need to like do Eliza so I can make sure that I'm ready to like publish it by the end of next year. I don't want to leave hashtag third fantasy in the middle because I have no idea when I'll come back to it. That's the truth. Because I'm ready to go back to hashtag first fantasy. I know. So I want to get hashtag third fantasy to a good place where I can come back to it, read it, and see the vision again. I don't want to stop the vision halfway and then be like, where was I supposed to go from here? Like, I don't know what to do. So that's why these are goals for the rest of the year. That's why I'm not going back to the first 50% of Music Sisters to edit. I have my notes. I started the change right where it was. So when I go back to the discrepancy, I'll be like, oh yeah, I wanted to change her magic powers, whatever. I'm going to do that. But I just got moving forward and writing it into the book. And when I come back to hashtag third fantasy, that's when I'll change it. But right now, the goal for the rest of the year is to just like finish projects, finish the draft, don't go back, just finish the draft so I can, when I shelve it, the vision is comprehensive. And so that's what we're gonna be doing for the rest of the year. HonesTEAs will just be me telling you like how far I am, how I'm feeling about it, development, etc., etc., etc. It's a lot. I know that it's a lot, but you know, it is what it is. Like, writing is my ministry. Got to be thoughtful about it. Sometimes that requires more of me than I had planned, but who God calls, he equips, and I believe him for that. So that is my honesty for September. It has been quite the honesty. I did not take one sip of actual tea, but it's all right. I'm going to now. Thank y'all for watching. If you made it this far, comment. You can have a choice. You can either comment #ministry, or you can comment #first romance, and feel free to tell me your thoughts about me adding romance to my repertoire of genres. Okay, wow, that's all I have for y'all. Y'all be well. Bye bye.